Spike Dudley.
I love him.
Always have.
You can just take a beating.
Well, obviously he'll be on the main timeline before long,
Yeah,
so we'll get to talk about him then, but I think he was so underused.
Love Spike Dudley. Absolutely perfect here. The big, fat, mean brother throwing him around.
Yeah.
Joey Styles just wincing, going, ow, another Bubba Bomb. Everything's a Bubba Bomb to you, Joey Styles. Bubba Ray slaps Spike, and you can see him go, shit. Slaps him, like. Sign Guy Dudley on the outside, the entourage, of course. Again, there's a lot of them out there. Judge Jeff Jones, the referee, is out there as well, of course.
The crooked ref.
The crooked ref, They've got a lot of side dishes at the Dudleys. I did like when Sign Guy held up a sign saying 1-800 broken neck.
Yeah, it was support Bueller, 1-800 broken neck.
Fucking hell, man. Spike makes a comeback. Hurricane Rana to Bubba Ray reverses that big power bomb, and then Sandman just clocks Bubba with his beer. And then we get another amazing tandem squaring off. Sandman and Big Dick Dudley.
Yeah.
Sandman takes a fucking drink and a drag of his cigarette with every move he does. Big Dick lifts up his arms and goes, "Arrgh!" at every move he does.
Now, Big Dick is a great grunter in a sort of a backward sense. That he's very quiet while he's wrestling.
Yeah.
But in between, he'll just stand there and go, "Arrgh!"
I love Big Dick.
Yeah, so good.
Fucking
Hilarious,
amazing.
man.
Yeah. They do another big crowd brawl, though, and again, with 6 men. Must have been great fun to be there, folks, in Ohio.
I'm sure you had a great
I'm
time.
sure you 5,000 in Ohio had a lovely, lovely time at the wrestling.
The millions of us around the world.
The trillions of us on the network were not treated as such. It was difficult to keep up. Heading back into the ring, Sandman hit the Heineken Rana. And again, this shows you what I was missing with this crowd brawl. They all come back into the ring and half of them are bleeding. I don't know how.
Yeah, just everyone's all of a sudden
Like
busted
Spike's
wide open.
bleeding.
Yeah.
Fucking Big Dick is gushing.
Yeah, oh god, yeah, he looks like he needs to sit down.
Seriously, you want to get the thing checkmate,
Yeah.
Spike Dudley climbs up the top of a ladder and dies to the outside.
Ladder in the ring.
As high as he could possibly go.
Yeah. Like,
No.
that arena's not massive. I thought he was going to fucking hit his head on the way down. Like, it's so high.
The fan man was going to pick him up and drag him out, That, for me, was the spot of the night.
Yeah, that was mind-blowingly big.
It starts to descend now into kind of much more of this is the ECW that probably, if someone says, describe to me ECW, and you're not very familiar with it, this is the kind of thing you'd be
This is the
comfortable
stereotypical, like...
Who's legal? I don't care.
overheard kind of, like, assumption of what ECW
Yeah,
is.
and
This is, to be fair, the kind of thing I expected
Yeah.
overall. With
And
this.
honestly, though, this is kind of what the majority of the fans who are watching ECW, they'll take your technical matches, your high flying, blah, 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 all that stuff, but they would have expected at least one of these. One kind of, oh shit, everything,
Yeah,
and that's
loads of
why-
weapons, all the guys are involved.
Yeah,
at the same time,
the kind of,
yeah.
run-ins, crazy spots, chaos, kick-outs, big
Yeah.
moves. That was expected, I think, by the fans, It was always put on usually in the main event, not necessarily showing them that it wasn't their hottest angle or their biggest stars. It just, was usually the most violent match was saved to last.
Yeah.
And we get things like, Sandman does his senton, the rolling rock, onto a ladder, onto Devon.
Oh my god, Devon's selling.
His
was
little dance.
Incredible. Like, he's like Luke Skywalker being electrocuted, fucking convulsing and diving all over the place.
Absent from this recording, obviously, Mr. Billy Keeble, he has got a particular set of skills known as GIF sounds, which is setting a perfect YouTube audio to a GIF, and that's put on repeat.
He's
basically.
very good at that, actually, Billy is, yeah.
I'm just saying, Billy, find the right song and get that GIF of Devon reacting there, and I think we've got the greatest GIF sound of all
so
fucking
excited
time.
to see that.
I'm just saying, to put it in perspective, Billy put a GIF of 3 black goats running across a hill, 3 baby black goats running across a hill, set to the Shields entrance theme, okay? That's the caliber we're dealing with
He
here.
also took a gif of a dog walking around that had no forelegs, and he put it to John Cena's entrance music, and it worked. Like, that doesn't make any sense, but it worked.
Who is Billy Keeble? Bubba Ray does a senton to the ladder to Dreamer. And again, this is me epitomizes kind of garbagey type roles where you guys are doing the same spots.
Yeah.
He
but it's, again,
literally
with
just
different
did it
guys.
with different guys, Acid drop by Spike Dudley, but we get a kick out, and then all the entourage starts running in. We get a figure 4 leg lock to Sign Guy Dudley, who's got a broken leg.
Not expect a ground-based submission move in the middle of all of this.
No, like a run-in to be stopped with Nature Boy Ric Flair's finishing maneuver. Like, it's very NWA of them, Judge Jeff Jones, however, saves Sign Guy Dudley from losing his leg, and then he pile drives the blow-up doll.
Yeah.
He pile drives the effigy of Beulah, And then he like mocks Dreamer basically, like EC fucking W, whatever. And then in a harrowing moment, Tommy Dreamer gives Jeff Jones a pile driver. But Jesus Christ, Jeff Jones looks like an evil pub landlord. Could you do me a toasty on the grill? No! You can only have these mini cheddars and they're really expensive. What have you got on tap? Tenants. It's shit. You know, and I like to see him get his comeuppance here. Tommy Dreamer picks up for a pile driver, but Jeff Jones has got a serious fucking bit of padding on him.
Yeah. Well, fair fucks to Tommy Dreamer then, because there was nothing wrong with this pile driver.
No, an amazing
flawless.
pile driver onto the dad bod of Jeff Jones. Fucking Tommy Dreamer puts his hands around there and you just sink in like. It's a soft, fat pile driver. Then we get total penetration to Tommy Dreamer by Big Dick Dudley.
Sake that name.
Yeah, and he does it on the ladder, but he essentially just sits on it himself because he takes it on his arse. These lads are hurting themselves.
Yeah, seriously.
Big time. I wonder if there was a word in their ear, or if this is just kind of a between the guys.
How do you mean?
Kind of, you know, because remember we were always assuming that kind of like, oh, you know, it was the guys themselves in WWF who were like deciding that we should do these big spots. Yeah. Whereas now it's transpired from interviews that it's fucking, you know, Michael Hayes going, why don't you jump off that ladder?
You should do this.
You should do shit I'd never do. I ain't doing that shit, no. Do you think it's the environment and the culture of ECW that they're kind of themselves expecting this? Or can you imagine, I love Heyman, but I can conceivably imagine him being a bit fucking, you should do that.
It's weird. I can imagine Heyman telling them to do certain things, but I don't think he's necessarily out of line doing that.
There's been guys who said that Heyman's never told me to do things, and other guys who said, no, Heyman
but
was telling me.
Even if he did, I don't necessarily think it's over the mark to do that, because I kind of think that with ECW, the guys that are there...
You know what you're in for.
And they're wanting to do this kind of thing, I think. They're the kind of performers that enjoy this style.
No one's going to tell Tommy Dreamer that he's not crotched himself.
Yeah, you know? Like, they're going to do that regardless. And I think if Heyman wants to suggest things that they might enjoy doing, you know, that's okay to do that.
And if he can make money out of that, you know... And
now, forcing someone to do a spot they're not comfortable with, that's a different story, obviously.
Now, there is some of that later in ECW, I think.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, a little bit of that. But not here tonight. Awesome spot coming up here after the acid drop. It's the Tree of Woe four corners spot where 3 members of the team are all set up, and of course Joel Gertner also gets set up in the corner, all in the Tree of Woe. All 3 participants on the Team Non-Dudley's team, they all do a dropkick, and who joins him, Adam?
The fucking referee!
Yeah, Jim Molyneux, because Gertner called him bald at the start.
I love that. This match, like you were saying about the chaos involved in ECW, it's descended to the point where the referee's thinking, fuck it, I'll have a go.
They've done this kind of thing in Chikara now a few times where the referee's been kind of like, fuck it,
I'm getting involved.
Yeah, I'll do it, you know. And
that's
I like
hilarious.
That.
Yeah, you can't do it all the time, but that's hilarious.
ECW, strangely enough, did have its bit of humour here and there as well. So Bubba Ray cracks Sandman in the head with a chair. Fucking hell.
It's one of those awesome chair shots where he lets go as he's doing it, so the chair just falls to the ground in a heap straight afterwards. Looks fucking horrible.
He's drunk, he doesn't care. Hit him as hard as you fucking want. Bubba then misses a splash and Dreamer gets a DDT onto a ladder, which miraculously ends it. It just kind of came out of nowhere, the ending.
Yeah.
We didn't even get to see the 3D tonight.
No,
but there you go. Team Not Dudley Boys wins. And post-match, we get, again, nice capping off ECW. Jack Victory runs out, who then, of course, is interrupted by New Jack. When New Jack runs out, beats everyone up, all the heels, all that stuff, runs him off. Normally, he's got Natural Born Thrillers playing, which is an awesome song. Here, it's just a beep.
Generic as hell.
And it really killed it. So again, I would say, before you judge this match, hold off on judgments of both Mr. Sandman and Mr. New Jack, because you're not made... Well, obviously Sandman, you know him.
And with New Jack, I was aware, I've been told that he has this thing where his music's constantly playing all the time, and so it's been ruined by the modern day cuts.
It's basically, the only way you can find New Jack is like, you know, bootlegs. To properly get him. So yeah, there you go. What do you think of that match then? Main event, what do you think of it?
Great, really good. Good stuff.
Nice garbage. Delicious garbage.
Bit sloppy, like you say. But I think we've, at this point in the night, we've already had our fill of great quality wrestling. I think it's nice to, you know, you have your nice gourmet meals and it's nice to have a bit of junk food. I think after having all the fucking great matches we had in the night, it's okay to have something.
Yeah, we had an awesome meal. We lined our stomachs. We went out in the tear and had a big piss up. Right, well now we've come back and we've eaten a Frey Bentos pie, even though we don't really need it.
Yeah, just for
that's what this match was.
Just to round the night off,
and it was delicious as well. Yeah. Well, there you go. ECW Heatwave 1998. First of all, we'll save off big judgments on ECW, but did you enjoy the show?
Yes. This pay-per-view was fucking fantastic.
Really enjoyed the show.
Really enjoyed the show.
Where would you put it up there then, maybe, if we're going to draw some comparisons to WWF stuff that we're looking at the moment, in terms of your enjoyment, would it be up there, or would it just be like, that was a good show?
I would put this along with something like Backlash 99, I think, where it's a great show. There's a couple of things I don't really necessarily like, but it's a great show, and like top to bottom, the matches are all fucking solid throughout. Yeah. I think the problems I have mainly with this show aren't problems with the show, they're problems with ECW in general, things that don't sit right anymore, things that aren't okay nowadays.
And I think it's a big thing we do need to point out all the time with this, is that, it's easy to look at the late 90s, looking at with the morality and and we've said this before, but it just goes without saying, it's obviously, looking back, it's aged poorly. If Paul Heyman was to run a company and a show now, it wouldn't be like ECW.
No, of course it wouldn't. Yeah, it is easy to sort of look back and you could just easily sneer at this kind of thing. And I'm not doing it in a sort of a like kind of, oh, fuck this kind of, we're just criticising what's not okay anymore.
Exactly. I mean, this is an awesome show, which we really enjoyed, but here are these bits that are, yikes.
I can't, like, I as much as I would love to just turn off my mind and be like, nah, it's the late 90s, it's cool, it's fine to hit women, like, I can't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
And so we have to call these things out.
And and I think that, for me, I was worried when I was watching this show going, fuck, I've not watched ECW in a few years, and I used to watch it religiously, and I knew a lot more than, with the edge there of finding out a lot of this stuff doing the podcast, it's been a shock to me, because it's been so long since I've watched it, but I knew in the back of my mind that ECW was,
reprehensible.
It was reprehensible, like, so I'm like, oh, fuck it now, I'm not going to be able to like ECW anymore.
Yeah.
But, there's nothing wrong with liking a show, as long as you can, maybe recognise that there's a few, there's a few issues there.
I'm one of the people where it's like, just because there's some things in it that are really horrible and leave a bad taste, I don't think you can discredit an entire show because of that.
Because on this show you had amazing wrestling.
Yes.
Really amazing wrestling. And so many different types of wrestling.
I was about to say, the variety that was on offer was insane.
Again, it's a common thing where people kind of go like, oh, ECW, it wasn't just like, a hardcore match. There would be a match with, look at footage of Eddie Guerrero and Dean Malenko from 1994. Right, get that out of your heads. It's a fucking spectrum, folks, and ECW fills in all the blanks, from the straight up nonsense, pure, solely garbage things like Axel Rotten and Ian Rotten punching each other with glass on their hands.
Jesus.
So like, that kind of sub CZW level of that's fucking stupid, all the way up to like a technical masterpiece, with Jericho and Benoit or what have you. But all those creamy middles in between. Looking at the opening two contests in this one with Candido and Lance Storm.
Those alone, yeah.
Okay, those aren't your classic straight up pure technical, we're above using any sort of interference or weapons. They managed to blend those styles in, and you've got a nice spectrum as a result. And ECW, there's no lack of variety as a result. There will be something on this show that you will like. Definitely. If you're a wrestling fan.
I'd agree with that statement, yeah, for sure.
And I know people who would hate a lot of the stuff on this show.
Yeah, that's an even truer statement.
And I know people who would hate a lot of this, but still, if I showed them certain matches, I know they would still go, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
I think 17 years after the fact that you said that several times throughout this episode.
Yeah. This was a phenomenal show. And as much as I think that maybe I wouldn't necessarily get on with ECW as a whole, I don't think I'll be watching every episode on the network anytime soon.
Yeah.
But
would this maybe make you want to seek out?
Definitely. This has convinced me that I want to see some more classic ECW pay-per-views and check them out now.
Yeah.
Might check out CZW as well.
Yeah, no, but that's good, because I was wondering if this was a case that was there enough there to maybe
definitely
lure you. Because
with WCW, when we watched those pay-per-views, we watched one very good one and one very good one that's considered their best
and one that was
considered
awful,
their worst. And neither of those inspired me to watch any more WCW ever again.
Yeah.
Whereas this now, I immediately know that I'm going to there'll be at least another 3 or 4 pay-per-views I'll get to watch out of this.
Which of the wrestlers that you saw tonight that you weren't familiar with before are you like most inclined to maybe check out? Who impressed you here? Or even maybe wrestlers that you already knew? Like, who was your... Actually, what I would say, if you were to give this a match of the night an MVP, we don't usually do it for bonus episodes, but I think for you, it's good in this instance.
You're right to do that. Match of the night for me is definitely Mike Awesome versus Masako Tanaka. That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Fucking ridiculous. And it was like, because I'd seen them fight before at One Night Stand, I knew the kind of, there was a precedent.
Knew what you're
already
up to.
set there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I got immediately excited for that straight away, and it didn't fucking let down at all. MVP, I'm going to have to sort of split this, but I'm going to give it to Hayabusa and Jinsei Shinzaki. I'm going to give it to those two just because I'd never heard of these guys before, no idea who the fuck they were.
They blew you away by the same
And
things.
their in-ring performance, their mystique, their look, literally everything about them top to bottom.
Someone's getting Googled later.
Seriously, if anything, I'm gonna probably check out more of those guys because I have
definitely.
no idea who they are. And
If
they
they're-
could have been fucking big stars in WWF, I think.
I would say definitely if there's any of these like matches or segments on the basis of what Adam thought of this, definitely tweet in at AE Podcast. Do
At
tweet us in.
Biblops on my personal
And at
one.
Biblops
Give me
as
a
well.
shout, yeah.
Give him a shout, let him know what kind of stuff. Well, and finally, how many Star Wives would you give this pay-per-view?
I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5.
Oh, you heard it here first.
Did we just? Which podcast are we doing?
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Attitude Era Podcast. And as always, make sure if you're following on SoundCloud, iTunes, or on Stitcher that you subscribe, go back, check out the other episodes, and leave a rating or review. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it's at AE Podcast, where we keep in touch with everyone and live tweet Raw and pay-per-views when we can. Also, Facebook.com/Attitude Era Podcast. Fan votes for episodes such as these, caption contests, fan art, all that kind of stuff. Get on over there, get in touch at Facebook.com/Attitude Era Podcast. And of course, if you're in the market for some videos, you can of course head over to YouTube.com/AE Podcast. Check out some of our previous episodes with clips that have been set to video, those that are left, of course, that YouTube have not taken down. And if you are into some shorter things, check out Vine as well. We're on Vine. Link to the Twitter account at AE Podcast that we mentioned earlier. And if you're a hardcore member of the Glad Gay community and you want to help support this podcast, and you can do so by going to selfie.com/AE Podcast, where audio commentaries for wrestling movies are available now. Documentaries such as Wrestling with Shadows and Beyond the Mat, joined alongside network documentaries like CM Punk Best in the World, alongside some truly odd ones like Steve Austin The Condemned, and most recently added, of course, Scooby-Doo and the WrestleMania Mystery, which Mr. Billy Keeble joined myself and Adam for. They're all available to download and listen alongside those movies. Here are our thoughts. They're £3 or $5 you pay using PayPal. Check them out. Reviews so far have been amazing, and thanks again for supporting the Attitude Era Podcast. That's going to do it for me, Kevin, and also Adam, and why not give Cinema Swirl a listen to if you've not done so already? We've made enough bloody references in this episode. We'll catch you next time on the Attitude Era Podcast.
It's my life in the box and trying to be. Take it off in my arms is the soul of me. You walk by, as you see me lay face down.
Hello everyone, you're listening to episode I Have Till 5 referee of the Attitude Era Podcast. I'm Kevin, hello, joined as always by my good friends and confidants, Adam. Alright Adam,
Hello, Kevin.
are you ready for some Fully Loaded?
About as ready as I'll ever be, I think. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about here, really.
There was a reason why I forgot the name of the pay-per-view.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. Billy, are you ready? Have you got your hand on your joystick? Are you in the cockpit?
Yes, I do, and I'm ready to get fully loaded.
Yeah, get fully loaded. Well, you're listening to the Attitude Era Podcast.
Seriously, just going through the motions.
If you listen to us on iTunes or on Stitcher, get ready, because it's time for Fully Loaded.
Questions.
Are you and your brother Kane in cahoots? All I want to know is where the hell you're coming from.
The answers lie within one man's tortured soul. The ramifications, however, are far broader. For what if blood does indeed run thicker than water? Will Stone Cold Steve Austin survive the hellish reunion? Will mankind be adopted or left abandoned? Will Mr. McMahon become the patriarch of the family? And what if The Undertaker's contempt for his brother still poisons his soul? Will he and Stone Cold temper their animosities towards one another and stand side by side as champions? Will Mr. McMahon be able to stomach an ungodly union between two defiant renegades, both hell-bent on destroying the very foundation of the empire he has so desperately tried to preserve? Questions.
The Undertaker just nailed Kane! But did he intend to hit Austin?
Tonight, the questions will be answered. But will the answers themselves become questions?
Right, there's the promo, and first of all, I have to say, I'm properly disappointed.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Very confused, yeah.
Now, we alluded to at the end of the last episode the fact that they're doing the whole whose side is he on thing with Kane and The Undertaker. They clearly don't know what they're doing. They're clearly they know that in a few months they're going to have a certain match, but how they're going to get there, it's anyone's guess. And the last few pay-per-views, we've had the real epic, may God have mercy on their souls. This one ended with the line, will the questions become answers? This one was basically, instead of we will witness hell on earth, it's we don't know what's going on.
Well, there's an extra bit to that. We had will the questions become answers, and will the answers become questions?
That makes no sense.
It doesn't.
Ludicrous.
It doesn't.
Will the answers become questions? Probably not, because the answers aren't in the form of a question. They have not got question marks at the end of them.
That sums up this entire pay-per-view quite nicely, I think.
Just confusion.
Should we call it a day then? Should we go?
Yeah.